Hello, hope you're having a good day. I'm TR Rose of Meow About Cosplay. So I'm not sure if you've heard the news, but if you follow crafting or sewing spaces, you might have heard that JoAnn Fabrics, which has always been my one-stop shop for sewing, cosplay, crafting supplies, is likely not long for this world. From the latest reports I've heard, it's probably not going to survive past the beginning of this year. And as a cosplayer, as a plush maker, and as just somebody who likes to do crafts, this is quite a blow. I didn't always get all my supplies from JoAnn's, but it was always a great one-stop shop. I like to go and look at the new materials. It was also great for Con Crunch. Oh my gosh, let's go. I need a zipper. I need thread. Oh look, a pattern sale. They're $2 each. Let's stock up. And now all that's going away. And that really hurts, especially for somebody like me who uses sewing and crafting and creating as my hobby, as my downtime from work. So all is not lost. I mean, there are still places where you can get supplies for crafting, but the barrier to entry is a lot higher now. I can't just say, go to JoAnn's and you can get everything you need. So the purpose of this video is to take my Plush Making 101 checklist of all the things you need to get started in making plushies and take that shopping list to 3 big box chain stores. I'm going to go to Target, Walmart, and Michael's, and I'm going to see how many of these materials I can pick up in a single shopping trip. Now for specialty materials, I still recommend online shopping, but at the end of this video, I'm going to give a list of the websites that I personally recommend for your cosplay and plush making needs. These are either going to be sites that I've personally shopped at or that I've had highly recommended to me by other crafters. So this is a blow, but it's not all over. We can still continue to do cosplay and plush making and crafting, but it's going to be a little bit more difficult. So without further ado, let's get started. Here at Target, we have rotary cutters and scissors. That's a start. This is a positive sign. Walmart has a variety of sewing machines. All right, we're definitely in the right section here. While this is not necessarily what I would choose for long-term plush making, if you absolutely need to get started now, they do have fleece. Color me surprised. They actually have a lot more fabric than just that. They have tulle, they have cotton, they have sparkly stuff. They even have a variety of prints in fat quarters. We've got polyfill. They have these, not only do they have the bags, but they've also got the gigantic boxes too. It's not a bad way to start if you want to make tons and tons of plushies, get 20 pounds of polyfill. But they've also got it in the bag forms. I have to say, I'm actually really impressed with the selection here. This is not at all what I expected. Now keep in mind, you can't get yardage cut, but you can pick up pre-cut pieces of an awful lot of different varieties of fabric here. I am surprised with the choice they have on offer here. They even have some really plushy stuff. This is almost like a double-sided minky. Or is it double-sided? Yep, this is a double-sided minky. Not what I'd recommend for stuffed animal making, but it's a start. The fleece here is not bad though. Lots of colors. Would you look at that? They've even got poly pellets. Now they're probably overpriced for being here, but if you need them, they've got them. Here's your hand sewing needles. Here's your pins. They have sewing machine needles too. Oh, they've even got the seam ripper. They have rotary cutters and mats. They've got a variety of sewing scissors. They've even got bias tape, zippers, thread. This is a much better selection than I was expecting. I'm sure not every JoAnn's I'm sure not every Walmart has quite this kind of a selection, but this isn't bad. They even have sheets of felt, which you can use for making eyes and other facial features for your plushies. Honestly, I'm really impressed. Here's our last stop, Michael's. That's interesting. Their sign says fabric is here. When I used to work at Michael's years ago, we never carried fabric, so I'm guessing this is something new. Well, we've got polyfill. That's definitely one of the things we need. Also seem to have a lot of pre-cuts here of fabric, as well as some fabric by the yard. Lots more polyfill over here, and we even have sewing machines. That's definitely something new. A pretty big selection of thread. Our all-important seam ripper. Can't do the project without that. You have to get down on the floor for it, but they do have hand sewing needles. And they have pins. Quite a lot of fabric scissors, rotary cutters, and the cutting mats. All good stuff here. This is interesting. They actually have white minky fabric, solid. They've also got light blue dot minky. Wasn't expecting to see that here. Well, I'm back. So what are the takeaways from my investigative journalism today? Well, don't waste your time at Target. All they had that was at all cosplay or sewing related were scissors and rotary cutters. Honestly, unless you're already there and that happens to be the one thing you need, don't waste your time at Target. Surprisingly, Walmart had everything on my list for plush makers that you need to get started. Now, you can't get fabric cut, you have to buy the pre-cuts, but they did have fleece and they had a variety of colors. Nobody is more surprised than me. They even had sewing machines. Now, I'm sure not every Walmart has it, but the location that I happened to go to had everything on my list, including thread and sewing needles and pins and the rotary cutters and the fabric scissors. They had everything. They even had poly pellets. So if you absolutely have the plush making bug and you must get started today, Walmart might have everything you need. Nobody's more surprised than me. Now, you're going to want to check beforehand if you can, if your Walmart has a sewing department. This was a super center that I went to, and I don't think all super centers are created equal. Michael's now has a sewing department. They didn't when I worked there many, many years ago, but now they have a sewing section. So they do carry sewing machines. They carry polyfill, various sizes of polyfill. No poly pellets though. And while they do have a selection of fabric, no fleece. They had one color of solid minky, white, and they had minky dot in light blue, so that's something if you must get started. But they had everything else. So with JoAnn's probably going away, if you have the last second con crunch and you absolutely need to get thread or scissors or a sewing machine needle, a Walmart Supercenter or a Michael's might have what you're looking for. I definitely wouldn't choose either location for their fabric, however. They both had some fabric, but I don't really see much that would be helpful for cosplay or a lot for plush making. You can get some at Walmart if you need to get started today, but really you're going to have a better selection if you go online. So what other options are there for in-person shopping? Well, if you live near a major metropolitan area, your city may have a fabric district. If you live in the Dallas area, our fabric district is located on Perth Street. I've been there before, and there's a number of different fabric warehouses and just places where you can get fabric. Lots more selection than JoAnn's ever had. And it's good for things like all the colors of satin you could possibly want, or other kinds of materials. Now, you can't really go with a shopping list necessarily, but there's a big selection, and if you have the time to look, you can find some real treasures. Another place you can try is what's called a creative reuse center. Now, this is new to me. I never even heard of these until about 3 days ago, so I haven't had the chance to check one out yet. But an expedition to one is definitely on my plans for the near future. These seem to be like craft-based thrift stores. They're secondhand stores that carry only upcycled materials and crafting supplies. So I'm not sure what you'll find in a place like this. You might find fabric, you might find paint, you might find sequins or buttons or zippers, but I'm going to have to check it out for myself and see what they have. Now, I recommend that when people are looking for specific fabrics, whether for plush making or for cosplay sewing, going online is going to give you the best selection. But online's a pretty big place. So for this section of the video, I'm going to share with you some of my recommendations for sites either that I have used before or that have come highly recommended to me. First up is JoAnn, which is kind of an unusual name. I think it's the last name of the original founder of what was a shop. This has been in business for over 100 years, and this site contains all things notions. So you've got thread and zippers and measuring tools and scissors, and it looks like they run specials fairly frequently. They seem to offer fast shipping that is free on large orders. Now, this is not going to be a solution if you have a last-second cosplay emergency, but if you plan ahead, you can get a lot of materials from this site. And I've heard this recommended especially with more experienced sewers who rely on this site for things like their zippers and their thread and their other tools. So in the absence of JoAnn Fabrics, this might be a really good solution for all things notions. The next site, Big Z Fabric, gets my personal recommendation. This is a site that I discovered when Fabric.com first went out of business, and I had to find another supplier for plush making materials. Big Z Fabric is the only domestic site that I know of that carries mochi fabric, which is the squishmallow material. But Minky's not the only thing that they have. While I've only ordered their Minky and mochi, they carry a variety of other fabrics, including satins and velvets and faux fur and chiffons and cottons. So if you're looking for cosplay fabric, you might find what you're looking for here as well. But I think my favorite thing about Big Z Fabric are their scraps boxes. I've ordered this twice, and if you want to see what you get inside a Minky only scraps box, I've done 2 different unboxing videos for this channel, so be sure to check those out and see what you get. I've been really impressed by the large variety of material I get, and honestly, it's been really good quality. Even though these are seconds and ends of bolts, I've gotten good materials from it. I've heard good things about Howl Fabric for fursuiters and plush makers. They specialize in different kinds of faux fur, but they also carry a wide variety of Minky fabric. In fact, they're a highly recommended source for Shannon brand Minky Cuddle. As you can see, they have many, many, many colors of this. JoAnn Fabrics always had a huge variety of fleece in lots of different colors, and I wasn't sure who to recommend with JoAnn's going away. Well, I've discovered this site called yourfleece.com. They only carry fleece, and they offer free shipping for US orders over $50. They have lots of colors. In fact, probably a wider variety of colors than JoAnn's used to carry. Their prices don't seem to be too bad. And they also offer some prints of fleece, although it doesn't look like they have too much, if any, licensed prints. Fabric Wholesale Direct comes highly recommended by cosplayers. I haven't shopped here personally, but it looks like they have a huge variety of different kinds of materials. They have some accessories and notions, including buttons and cutting tools and threads and zippers, but they also have a wide variety of fabric. They have everything from canvas to cotton to satin, chiffon, jersey knit, and their prices look very reasonable. For example, I'm seeing they have crystal organza for $3 a yard, Look at all the colors they have of their bridal satin. Depending on what it is you wanted to make, it looks like they have a lot of choice for colors. They also have an extensive selection of trim and ribbon and lace. Another site that I've heard highly recommended for cosplayers is JoAnn Fabrics Club. And it looks like they specialize in apparel fabric, but they also have an entire section devoted to costume and cosplay fabrics, grouped by things like Renaissance fabrics, Barbie-themed fabrics. So if you wanted that cute pink gingham dress, everything here is in one place. It looks like there's quite a variety of different kinds of materials for all sorts of cosplay projects. And finally, if you're a plush maker, I've had a lot of success with the Etsy sellers Cali Quilt Co. and OPN Quilting. They both carry a variety of minky fabric, including some of the nice, lush, long pile varieties. I've had good success ordering from both of them, although I'm sure there are other minky sellers on Etsy as well. Thanks for watching today. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And most importantly, please share this video with other crafters who would benefit from these resources. And don't stop creating. Take care.